Top of the morning to everyone. Let's try this. Take two. Take not go as planned. Got weird. Let's just put it that way. Things froze up. My voice was crackly, and it was not something that I was going to be able to edit out. So we'll just start anew. Again, I am recording a little later than I typically record on these wonderful Sunday mornings. So there will be the mother, the wife, the kids, at some point making a what I would call an appearance. I don't know that they'll make an actual appearance, but you'll probably hear them at some point. I got a little better lighting here. Still very dark. Why don't I go backwards? All right. So if you can see, I'm rocking the new Shorebirds alternate hat. Got the scrapple egg and cheese repping Delmarva, the worst breakfast sandwich there is. Thinking pretty much a turkey sausage, egg, and cheese in this health conscious world, because it's still good. You still get the flesh between your teeth, but you're not dealing with as many cholesterol preservatives. I guess there's just as many preservatives. What the hell am I talking about? There's not as many preservatives. Let me shut up. Talk about something I pretend to know about. So yeah, I did follow. I went 6-7-1. I was unable to upload video to YouTube. I don't know what happened. It just didn't. It never took. Like, it just said loading forever. So for like my 5 YouTube viewers, why did I say that so weirdly? My 5 YouTube viewers, I do apologize. But it was on Facebook. It was on the actual podcast website. So everything was good there. I apparently the case of the Donald Trump cocaine sniffles since the last time I recorded this, and I'm now sniffling like I'm debating Hillary Clinton. It's huge. It's huge. It's going to be big. It's going to be great. Sad. So many people. Fake news. All right, that wasn't annoying at all in your ears. All right, so Thursday night, Green Bay pretty much ended their season. I know it was in Seattle, but if you can't beat the Seahawks, who are a middling team, I guess that's the word. Middling. I think that's a word. Pretty sure that's a word. Like, it means middle of the road, or you're not very good, but you're not the worst ever either. I don't know. If it's not, it's made it up. You middling sons of bitches. Green Bay was +3. So as far as betting goes, it ended up a tie. I did have a tie last week as well. I went 6-7-1. Under 500, unacceptable. I know. My kids' report cards came out this week, and I was yelling at them for not getting all A pluses. And here I am, trotting out under 500 for the week. So Green Bay +3 was a push on Thursday night, which brings us into the Sunday games. The one that most of the country is going to be watching early Sunday is Falcons Cowboys. The Cowboys travel to Atlanta. Atlanta is a 3.5-point favorite. Their defense is still decimated. They've come around. They laid an egg last week and probably ended their season for all intents and purposes. I just don't know that Dallas is a great team. This is a hard game to pick, and that's probably why the line's 3.5. It's in Atlanta, so that's why they're the favorite. At 3.5, though, that extra half a point pushes me to Dallas. If it were just 3 or 2.5, I'd 100% go Atlanta. But that extra half of a point, I'm just going to go to Dallas. Dallas is that type of team that, when the competition is better than them, they play well. When the competition is worse than them, they play like dog shit. So I'm going to take that extra little half of a point, and I'm going to go Dallas +3.5 in that game for no other reason than that Vegas line. Most games end in like 3, 4, or 7. Those are kind of your target lines, 3, 4, and 7. Anytime you add that half of a point, if you're not comfortable, take the other team, which is what I'm doing in this game. Carolina -4.5. They go to Detroit. Detroit's a 4.5-point road underdog. And at some point, the Lions are going to have to prove me right and show that they're a Jekyll and Hyde type of team, because right now they've just been playing like shit, and they've been getting beaten pretty badly. At some point, they're going to have to show up. And usually Cam lays an egg around this time of the year, and people start to question, are they going to make the playoffs? And then for some reason, they run off like 6 straight to end the year. But this is one of those games where I think Cam will just lay an egg, and Matthew Stafford will actually find Kenny Galladay or somebody. Give me Detroit +4.5. In the Motor City. Another dome game. The Titans travel to Indianapolis, who took the Lions trash and turned him into a treasure. How about Eric Ebron, everybody's fantasy favorite, the guy who would disappear for weeks on end and then go 6 receptions, 60 yards, 3 touchdowns, save your fantasy season, but then also have 8 drops and have Lions fans throwing shit at him. Man, that guy's resurrected his career. I don't know if it's Andrew Luck. I don't know if it's Frank Reich. I don't know if he just cares more now. I don't know what it is, but he's looked like a different player this year. Yeah, he still has some dropsies. He gets little butterfingers. He definitely has some issues, but his production has been unmatched at the tight end position. I shouldn't say unmatched. There's a lot of tight ends putting up big numbers this year. Travis Kelce, chief among them, Zach Ertz has been putting up huge reception total. So I'll shut the hell up. Why did I go such hyperbole? His production has been unmatched. Hot take. No. Anyway, this line's Indy -2. It crept up to Indy -2.5. It's all the way down today to Indy -1.5. This is a prove it game for me for the Colts. I don't trust them yet. They've looked really good over the past month. Probably one of the best offenses in the NFL. They've not played a ton of great teams, but man, they're handling them and they're still alive. Especially with that AFC South being the way it is. This would be a huge win for Indy against Tennessee. I just don't trust it yet. Give me Tennessee +1.5. If I'm wrong here, I will be full on. The Andrew Luck and his noodle arm are back. He's no longer got the noodle arm. He's got the stiff pasta. That al dente, that strong, that firmness, coming in hot with the hot rod. This is getting sexual. But anyway, I'm going Tennessee and Marcus Mariota +1.5. But I'm hedging that by saying I'm pretty close to being on the Indy train. Team who's not two teams who no one is on their train right now, the Giants and the Bucks. Tampa Bay comes up to New York to play the Giants. It's going to be a brisk day. Everyone has read the stat line about Tampa Bay and Miami, the Dolphins both. They don't play well when the temperature's under 40 degrees. I don't think it's going to be under 40 today. It's pretty nice fall day. However, unfortunately, the Buccaneers still are dog shit, and Ryan Fitzpatrick is their quarterback. I don't even know if Winston's playing out. Are they going to go back to Winston? Who knows what they're going to do? It doesn't really matter. The Giants are shit, but they can beat bad teams at least. Giants are a 2.5-point favorite. Again, this is that whole deal. If it got to 3 or 3.5, I'd probably take Tampa. But at 2.5, give me the Giants. They're home. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much else to say about this game. Eli's washed, but he can obviously find Sterling Shepard deep every once in a while against a shitty Niners team and pull a victory out and hurt their draft chances, which it looks like the Giants are fully content with doing, just continuing to hurt their draft chances and further hinder them drafting a quarterback replacement for Eli Manning, who's dog shit now. Let's see. So we go to the Slurs and the Texans. Houston comes to DC. Houston is a 3-point favorite in the nation's capital. Houston's a pretty good team. I don't know if they're should be a 3-point favorite over a division leader. Hey, there's one of them. He popped up. Now he's behind me. Where's he going next? There he is. He's back. He's back. He's hiding. He's ducking. He's diving. He's weaving. He's bobbing. This kid's going to give me a seizure. No, okay. So for anyone listening on the podcast, what just happened was my son just poked his head into the podcast and he's dipping back and forth. I didn't just start randomly calling a boxing match in the middle of the podcast. So the Slurs, I'm going to take them. Here's the deal. I think your best bet on this game is to go with the under. I would typically not bet this game if I didn't bet every game, but I bet every single game. So I got to pick. I got to make a pick. I'm going Washington +3 only because I think it's going to be a close, low-scoring game. So give me the points. That's basically where I am with that. I'd probably take the under if I gun held to my head. I do want to stay away from this game just because both teams are pretty unpredictable. Washington with those two Alabama, them Bama boys in the middle, Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen, they can cause problems for a lot of teams and they can just muddy up a game. And for that reason, the Skins are going to be in most games they play. That defensive line is stout. I need a good stout. Been drinking a lot of Bud Lights lately. Need to get some heavier, little fall, some hop nodes, some more body to it. It'd be nice, get a little 9.5 ABV in there. Give me something, nice and like almost like a goddamn dinner beer, just what I'm thinking. Maybe a milk stout. No, milk stouts are awful. Whoever thought of them? Milk stouts and cream ales, both. Blech. Cream ale, Genesee cream ale. Shout out to Trey Bell for introducing me to that dog shit beer. Cream ale and milk stout. No. They're about as bad as Eli Manning. Hey, we're back to the NFL. There we go. See how we brought that all back together like a Ben Roethlisberger rape kit. Jaguars, Steelers. The Steelers go to Jacksonville. Last year, we all know what happened. The Jags shocked the world and beat the shit out of the Steelers. Leonard Fournette ran a huge run at the end of the game when it didn't matter, and everyone said, is Leonard Fournette the next Adrian Peterson? Turns out the answer was no, and Blake Bortles still shitty. It's been a rough year for Jacksonville. I thought their defense would be obviously not as good as last year. They've traded Dante Fowler. Blake Bortles, they've pretty much given up on. Leonard Fournette has been hurt all year. Their offensive line has been mangled. They're in rough shape. Pittsburgh's a 5.5-point favorite in Jacksonville. That should tell you how the mighty have fallen, if you consider Jacksonville mighty after 13-3 year. But I think they were a lot of people's favorites to at the very least, win the AFC South. And now they are a 5.5-point underdog at home, and I'm not touching them. I do think the Steelers are bound for a come down to earth kind of game. They've been too high on this. Well, fuck Levy and Bell. We've got Connor. Fuck you, 26. They've been way too high on that. I mean, people are like stealing shit out of his locker. Ha ha ha. It's a jolly good time in Pittsburgh. At some point, that shit's going to come crashing down, and Antonio Brown's going to cry or post some sort of stupid fucking Instagram video or whatever he does. But I don't think today is that day. So give me Pittsburgh -5.5. What's up, Jeremy? Just got done talking about your skinnies, your skinny skins. I do think I've got them today +3. Not sure if they get the win, but I do like them in a close, low-scoring battle against the Texans, the Houston Texans. All right, let's pump it along. Bengals Ravens. I don't know. I've seen conflicting reports, and the line makes it even more conflicted for me. So the Ravens are a 5.5-point favorite this morning. For some odd reason, Joe Flacco, I don't believe is going to play. Last I saw, he was listed as doubtful. He had missed a bunch of practice. Lamar Jackson was going to get a bunch of burn today. I'm excited for that. I cannot wait to see what the Ravens actually do for him and let him develop as a quarterback, as opposed to just bring him in as some gadget red zone guy. I don't think that helps his development at all. The Niners did it with Colin Kaepernick, and it worked for a season and a half. And then it kind of stunted his growth. The Redskins did it with RG3, and it worked for a season. And then it kind of stunted his growth. They need to teach these guys how to be quarterbacks first, and then use those athletic skills on the outside, kind of like a Russell Wilson does. As much as I don't like the guy because he looks like a fucking tattletale, does anybody in the NFL look more like a tattletale than Russell Wilson? He just looks like a fucking narc. Like you would, I don't know, your parents would walk out and you'd like break the lampshade or something, and you'd put it back on there, like so it looked like it wasn't broken, but actually it was broken. So the next time your mom went to turn on the light and knocked it over, she would think she broke it. He'd be the kid that told. He'd be like, oh, well, no, Mike broke that. I saw him break that, and then he put it there, and then he just left it there, and he said, oh, I bet mom's going to touch it, and she's going to think she broke it. That's why I can't get on this whole Russell Wilson train, even when he was trying to be cool with Ciara. Ciara? Is it Ciara? Like tiara? I don't know. I'm going to say Ciara because it looks like tiara. Anyway, that went real far from Lamar Jackson and Joe Flacco. Wow. All right, back on track. Anyway, Baltimore is a 5.5-point favorite for some reason. I'm taking Cincy +5.5. Whether the rookie plays or Joe Flacco on a bum hit plays, you got to think Cincinnati's defense is going to be embarrassed after last week. Embarrassed. That was embarrassing. You fucking embarrassed everybody, Cincy. I thought Cincy would make it a game. I thought Drew Brees outdoors. They got a chance here. No, Cincy got fucking shit stuffed. They got... I don't know what other term I can use for prison rape without saying prison rape, but they got that. They got their pants pulled down and their shit stuffed. It was bad. The Saints were their daddy. Call me daddy. This is a really weirdly sexual podcast all of a sudden. Anyway, I'm taking Cincy +5.5. This will probably end the Ravens season with a loss here. You got to think that The Birds are done. John Harbaugh is apparently looking for his exit. Mike McCarthy's going to exit the Packers most likely. Two high-profile coaches that should be pretty in high demand. I would imagine the Jets would like a John Harbaugh or a Mike McCarthy, so I can't wait to suffer through that because I'm not a big Ravens or Packers fan. They're kind of weirdly dysfunctional teams that seem to do well. So I don't know. It can't be worse. Let's put it that way. It can't be worse than the Todd Toilet Bowls that the Jets have. And they're on a bye this week, so I don't have to worry about watching that shit. I can't believe he kept his job after they got shit stuffed by the Bills. The Bills are the Bills. We know that. They had the nerve to come out and say, oh, we studied film on Josh Allen, not Matt Barkley. You shouldn't have to study film on Matt fucking Barkley. He's Matt Barkley. You get beat by 30 by the Bills in your own home, you get fucking fired. I don't know why the Jets aren't. They need to fire him so they can start the head coach search as soon as possible and not fall behind these other teams that have already fired coaches like the Browns and obviously the Browns. And when the Browns and the Jets are in the same sentence and they're both on a bye this week, pretty much the whole AFC East, the Browns and the Niners have a bye. So it's Jets, Patriots, Dolphins, Bills, Browns, Niners are on a bye. Out west, we're going out west here for a little bit for these 5 games. Oakland travels to Arizona. Arizona started off a 4-point favorite. They are now a 5.5-point favorite. The Cardinals should never be more than a field goal favorite. I know the Raiders are bad. They're one of the worst teams we've ever seen. The last time I watched them, they were getting beat by the Niners and Big Dick Nick Mullins on Thursday night, like 30-3. So I shouldn't have any confidence in this pick, but I'm going Oakland plus 5.5. I just don't think there's any way that Arizona should be a more than a field goal favorite on anyone, even if it's the dog shit Oakland Raiders. Give me Oakland plus 5.5 there. Josh Rosen makes a mistake. The Raiders make him pay. The silver and black are back for a weekend, baby. All right, Chargers, Broncos. Another West Coast game that no one gives a shit about. But the Chargers are good this year. The Broncos, not so much. Chargers a touchdown favorite. It's pretty much stayed a touchdown all week. I don't typically like giving a touchdown unless the team's elite. The Chargers are just under that elite category. Isn't that annoying when people say elite? It's elite. You're fucking elite. I'm elite. Can't spell elite without Eli, baby. 2 Super Bowls and 8 dog shit seasons. Eli Manning, Hall of Famer. Can't wait to hear that. Chargers -7. That's who I'm going to take. I don't know. The Broncos they're just a team at this point. They're not very good. They don't have a great quarterback. Case Keenum is what he is. They'll probably stay in this game and they'll probably cover, but I'm not laying a lot of money on that. I'm going the Chargers -7 in the worst home field advantage in the league. They play in a soccer stadium, 28,000. They have trouble filling that. It looks like them moving to LA was a pretty bad idea. So the 2 major marquee games, according to Fox, are the Cowboys and the Falcons, which a lot of the country is going to see at 1, and then almost all of the country is going to see Saints Eagles at 4:25, and it's going to be a I don't know, a bittersweet game, I guess you could say, because 3 weeks ago this would have been huge ratings number, and I still think it's going to do a huge ratings number, but you got to think with the Eagles season kind of falling apart, it takes away a little bit of the shine. However, I do not think the Saints should be a touchdown favorite over the Eagles, even if it's in New Orleans. I know the Eagles have struggled, and I get that, but the Eagles are still the defending Super Bowl champs, and I think it's a bit disrespectful. They started off as an 8-point underdog. I know it's in New Orleans, and I know the Saints just completely obliterated the Bengals, but come on. 8 points for the defending Super Bowl champs who have lost some close games. I mean, yeah, you have to win close games, but they've lost some close games. It's not like they've gotten embarrassed. That Dallas game was rough. It was bad. They definitely shouldn't be losing to teams like the Cowboys in a big spot on a Sunday night. But, I just can't get over the fact that they're over a touchdown underdog. So for that reason and that reason alone, I think there's some disrespect there. The Eagles can put on their little stupid fucking German Shepherd heads and play the underdog role. Jason Kelce can dress up like a mummer and scream into a microphone. It'll be, give me the Eagles plus 7.5, and they can play the underdog role and be all weird and keep their season alive. If they lose today, you got to figure that's it for the Eagles. They're pretty much done. I mean, I know the AFC East is not full of juggernauts. The Skins could lose quite a few games in a row. And the Eagles could win quite a few in a row, but you gotta think if they take this L today, could be the end of their season. Really good Sunday night of football. We got 4:25 Eagles Saints, and then in the NFC North we have the Bears and the Vikings on NBC. The Bears, who'd have thunk it? The Bears, a 2.5-point favorite. It is in Chicago. The Vikings seem to have found their groove. They're with Stella. How Stella got a groove back. I've never seen that movie. Probably because I'm white. I'm super white, and I'm not going to pretend like I'm woke enough to have seen how Stella got her groove back. I am not that woke. Stay sleep, my friends. Hashtag stay sleep. Oh, no. We made it the whole way. And now you're going to do this too. Back. All right, it's working. Let's try to get through this last little bit pretty fast before my speakers go to shit again. We made it the whole way through that time, and we were doing well. All right, here we go. So, as I was saying, the Bears, before I got racially insensitive, what I was saying was the Bears are having a great season, but the Vikings seem to have found their way. Give me the Vikings plus 2.5. I know it's in Soldier Field, and I know home underdogs perform well in primetime settings, but I'm going to shirk all of that. Mitchell Trubisky has looked really, really good this year. You cannot take that away from him. I just think, give me Minnesota, give me the points, and it leads us to one of the most highly anticipated Monday night games in a long, long time, and it's already got a stain on it because they were going to play it in Mexico City, and apparently the goddamn migrant caravan walked across the field multiple times and ruined everything. Those frigging immigrants just ruining everything. They walked across the field, they trampled on it, they made the conditions unplayable, and it was all the immigrants' fault. I hope you're happy, migrant caravan. I'm obviously being facetious. I feel like you have to mention that in today's day and age, where if you say it, people tend to believe it, especially if it's on Facebook. People tend to believe it. Oh my God, you hear Mike said the migrant caravan trampled across the field as a show of protest against the NFL and America and Donald Trump, and that's why the Rams and the Chiefs have to play in LA now? No, apparently there was a Shakira concert and 3 Mexican League games and then another concert, and the field was just dog shit. So they had to play it in LA, where hopefully the air quality is good enough, because the whole goddamn state of California is apparently on fire, and I'm supposed to be sad that some millionaire lost his house. And look, I get it. I mean, if no matter what level of life you're at, whether you're a millionaire, billionaire, or a thousandaire, it's sad when your house burns down. I just have a hard time feeling bad for Gerard Butler, knowing all the money and all the shit movies he's made. So I'm sorry. I'm not going to feel bad for you when in another 6 months you're going to be getting paid $2 million to be on a fake submarine that's going to blow up the White House, and then aliens are going to come and probe your butt. I don't know what they do in Hollywood. I don't pretend to know, but I know they make a lot of money, so I'm not going to cry over him losing his house. What does this have to do with the Chiefs and Rams? Nothing really, except for the fact that the game's being played in LA, in elitist Hollywood. Eli Manning would fit in there because you can't spell elite without Eli, as we all know. 2 Super Bowls, baby, back to back. Not back to back, but 07 and 11 doesn't matter. Might as well have been back to back. The other years didn't matter. Eli's elite. He sucks balls. Rams, Chiefs started off a 2.5-point favorite. The Rams did. They are now a 3.5-point favorite. I don't know. If I had to bet this game, I'd bet the over, no doubt. No. Law-abiding citizen was good. Was that the one where he was like he got arrested and then he like blew up the jail, and Jamie Foxx was like the prosecutor or something? Yeah, so his wife or his kids got killed or something, and he purposefully went to jail. Whatever it was not a good movie. Stephen Whitley, you are banished. It's a good movie that if it comes on FX, you're not going to change the channel. Yes, I agree. But to say it's a good movie, you, sir, you get a fish shake, especially with that shit ass ending, like my wife just said. Anyway, LA Rams. I will take them minus 3.5 just because the Chiefs defense, I believe, has skated by. The Rams passing defense has not been good. Aqib Talib, Marcus Peters, all those additions. John Johnson was already there, but all those additions have not been great. Dante Fowler has given them a presence off the edge. Aaron Donald up the middle's nasty. He nasty. But I think the Rams are going to be able to expose the Chiefs. Not just holding my arm out like Heil Hitler. My son was coming in. I was trying to give him a hug. So give me the Rams minus 3.5 there. So let me recap these picks. Rams minus 3.5, Minnesota plus 2.5, Philly plus 7.5, the Chargers minus 7, Oakland plus 5.5. Get out of here, Ad. What are you doing? Cincy plus 5.5, Pittsburgh minus 5.5, the Slurs plus 3, the Giants minus 2.5, Tennessee plus 1.5, Detroit plus 4.5, the Cowboys plus 3.5. That does it. Hopefully, I go better than 6-7-1 like I did last week. Max is out. I'm out. Enjoy your Sunday. I am recording another episode tonight. I will not post the video probably though until Tuesday. I'm going to try to convince my wife to be on it. I know I keep saying that. I keep saying, "Oh, I'm going to do a video and I'm going to get my wife on there." But for real, I have rescheduled a Madden game, which apparently is important to me for Monday after work. So I don't have any commitments tonight except for watching Bears Vikings, which I can do while I podcast. And my son can whip his hair back and forth. I whip my hair back and forth and whip my hair. All right, we out.